Okay, the next one that comes in is from Holly Humberstone. This is Easy Tiger. Holly is a solo artist from England, actually from a small town that's up near Nottingham or Birmingham, more in the north of England. This song is from an EP called Work in Progress, which is a nice name for an EP. It was released in March and has been a bit of a big deal. It's got 675,000 plays, so it's been picking up some attention along the way. I think what stands out to me about Holly is the earnest approach and kind of the honesty in her songwriting. It appears that she does a lot of this herself in terms of the writing and the playing. And I think there's a portal into one's personal life that she offers. I think that you could look at the song and think of it as pretty dark. And I think even some of her interviews, when she's talked about the song, she's talked about depression and struggling through different things. What I like about the song is it seems to capture this essence of helping each other through life, helping each other through the difficult parts and enjoying the joyful parts with someone, and how experiencing a joyful thing, but when you do it by yourself, often doesn't feel as meaningful as when you experience it with someone else, both on the upper end of the spectrum of this was really joyful and the lower end of the spectrum of this was really painful or really hard. It seems like that's what life is about. And I like that she captured that. The phrase easy tiger feels like something I've heard dad say or a sports coach say, something I think I've said to my own kids. It feels like colloquialism. Like Holly says, it's like, hey, settle down. This too shall pass. And I appreciate that the artist captures this thought in a song. It's really stripped down. And so I think that really lets her voice and some of the pain in her vocal delivery shine through, as well as let the lyrics take front and center. Really like the repeating line towards the back where she says, let it all out. And you can tell that there's this strain and kind of processing, like you said, Brett, about being disrupted in the night and you needed to like let your body work it out. Feels like that moment in the song where she's saying, let it all out. And for some reason, it reminded me of that scene in Good Will Hunting where he keeps saying, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. And the arc in that goes from, yeah, whatever, or yeah, I've heard this before, or yeah, those are just words, all the way till eventually it breaks open into this moment that's been probably kept hidden or suppressed for a long time. When it comes to that part, I feel so wide open and I feel it's an invitation to let it all out. If I was making a remix, I think I would play that part over and over and over, like looping it back and letting it build. But that's just like my own interpretation of the song. I wanted to share it here. Holly is definitely on the like pop side of the continuum, and some of her stuff gets a lot of attention. So I think this particular song, it's worth talking about, and I've really enjoyed listening to it this year. So wanted to share it with you too. Brett, what's your take on Holly and Easy Tiger?
Really dig this track. It definitely feels like the vibe of, again, that this thing that I'm naming about the dichotomy of two things being true simultaneously and our interpretations of how we might be if one of those were true or the other one was true. We might feel like it's good or bad, or it might be easy to judge politically. For example, we just experienced a hurricane here and things got completely washed away, literally, and there's a ton of goodness that's come out of it. There's like incredible humans that are showing up who have been here, but with this opportunity, there's like people are really showing up, and it's powerful to witness. Love the track and all the things you're naming about the strain in her voice and the sort of breathiness. There's like a strained whisper in the way she's singing it that's relatable, and it feels like the magic in music in terms of emotions. Just dialing back to our episode, I think it was episode 4 on Pathway to the Feels, like she's reaching like deep into the well of where I feel, and she's helping me feel, and for that I'm deeply grateful. I definitely feel like I need to feel my way through the uncomfortable moments that I'm in. And the invitation that she gives, kick your feet up on the dashboard and we'll ride this out together. God, that's like exactly what I want my friends to say to me. You know, that the darkness doesn't have to be something that we walk by ourselves. So that feels good. I really love the line. Again, to this point of the dichotomy of this, like,
Paradox.
Yeah, the paradox. She says, I get all dressed up. I get all dressed up for nothing. And then she says, I get all messed up. I get all messed up for nothing. And I think those two notions, like getting dressed up, what I thought she was going to say is, I get all dressed up. I get all dressed up and have nowhere to go, which is like for nothing. I prepared myself, but then I have nothing to do with it. And then the opposite of that is, oh, I completely fell apart. I completely lost myself. And that was for nothing too. It's a powerful song. It definitely stirs up a lot in me. I think the notion of Easy Tiger, settle down now, Easy Tiger. I feel sometimes, no, don't settle down. Like you said, and she says, and you said, settle down now. And so somebody else is saying this to her. Settle down now, Easy Tiger. And I'm like, the primal force in me is going, no, I think I need to feel this fully. And the truth can also be, relax. It's okay. We're going somewhere. It's all going to make sense at some point. Lots of interesting lyrical ideas there that I really dig.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll start with, on my screen, Brett, you're in the middle, so you're getting a virtual hug from Sean and I. It's probably in different order on you, but virtually with your brother on this, and can hear the year that 2024 has been in your voice. Thank you for music to help us process and talk through it. Music being the medium to get to that conversation probably doesn't happen when Sean and I just say, how you doing, man? It happens because Holly says, I'm reaching into your soul and I'm going to bubble that up and we're going to talk about it. So that's the joy and the sadness and the part of this that I love, but also the vulnerability is real. And she brings it out. Her opening stanza, so relatable. It's like being stuck in your room and you're not coming out. And I loved I'm having a staring contest with the moon. And no wonder I've got 5 missed calls from Lauren. Guess it's her job to worry. It's like right in it. That one opening stanza was super grabbing for me. It put you in that moment. And I relate to that. I want to put my head under the covers and not come out. I will also acknowledge it's a demo, and I realize that like this was our first cut, but man, it starts just like Skinny Love from Bon Iver, same guitar riff, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But she lets her own Holly style take the song and run with it. I thought that was great. I mean, it's awesome to sound like a song that I love very deeply with that Bon Iver album, but to then take it in your own artistic way was very refreshing. You guys echoed a lot of the things that I'd already pulled out. I think her lyrics are really observant. It tapped into one of the same reasons I love Bess Atwell, like turning the observation into these emotions and how am I sorting through these things. I think that's a really like the basic essence of what makes songwriting and storytelling both exciting and not easy. Like the ability to translate real world into these kind of things and not process them, but explain them a bit. I don't really know how to say it, but she did a very excellent job here. And it's strange that it's a demo. I didn't read that till afterwards. I was like, this just sounds like a really well-crafted thought. I don't know any of your other musics, but if it's to this level of kind of songwriting quality, then I understand why people are really paying attention, and appreciate Sean introducing it to me today, because I think it's a brilliant song.
Yeah, I agree with the demo structure. I think it really gives a chance to highlight the vocals and the lyrics. It puts it on top of a really stripped down soundscape behind. It's a lovely moment for me to hear you two react to it. In a lot of ways, it's very meta for the song because the song has tugged at my heartstrings a lot here, especially because in the back half, you hear some voices in the background. And I didn't realize it. I just wasn't able to pick apart the words. But then the lyrics in Spotify and on Genius was capturing some of those words, and they're in parentheses when you look at the lyrics, and it sounds like some interaction with her dad. It even sounds like at the playground. So I'm imagining like an injury falling off the swing or getting pushed over by some other kid or some terrible thing that happens and you end up being comforted by your dad as you're driving away from the playground. It's just imagery that was cooking up in my head. And yeah, and I just thought, what a lovely thought to be there for your kid, or as a child to know that you can count on your parent to see you through a tough moment. It's really fun for me to hear the impact of the song on y'all. And I also hope that our listeners get a chance to spend a moment with this song and let it sink in for you as it has for us three. Here's Easy Tiger from Holly Humberstone.